Hello everybody, how's it going? We got an afternoon update with Kīlauea, but before we do that update, we're gonna go over what's going on. So Nohea Street had like I said this morning, Nohea Street this morning had a nice size fissure open up on Nohea, between Nohea and Pono. It's actually flowing towards Leilani Avenue, but flows are starting to slow down a little bit. But the fissure is still active right now, and also the fissures that is pretty much going down Leilani, Luana and Makamai, and all those fissures on the way down. But the fissure that is feeding lava towards PGV, it's fissure 21. So that fissure had crossed over Kahukai Street a couple days ago and crossed highway Pohiki Road last night or this morning, and it was about 250 yards in the forest headed towards PGV going northeast. But you know, hopefully those lava flows are starting to slow. But apparently when we were there, it kind of moved like 60 feet in like an hour. So there's still lava moving that way, but we're gonna go over the mapping and the descent lines later with Philip. But another thing too, Pohiki is not open. Pohiki is not open. So repeat, Pohiki will not be open. Maybe further down the road we might see it open, but as of right now it's not open. So other than that, we want to Dr. Phil.
That's it. So map update first, yeah? So this map is still a map from yesterday, but we can point out in here where that stuff is going on, right? So the flow that's heading to PGV is the one coming from these fissures 21, 23, this complex over here, and the flow is going north. Went across the road yesterday, and you can see the blue lines right here are the most likely path it's going to follow, right? So it's going to make a turn to the left. It's definitely going to come close to this PGV well facility right in here, but it actually should be turning more towards Highway 132, right?
So it's just brushing PGV. So we're hoping that it will not continue to go that way, but you know, this lava flow has its mind of its own.
Yeah, it's going to depend on how much comes out and how not how far the first ton goes, but how fat it gets afterwards as it comes through, which is happening back over here, right? So there's a picture that Ikaika posted this morning from Busamori showing it's kind of a different angle, but this is that flow that's going towards PGV right here, right? Came across Pohiki Road, and where's it right here? Pohiki Road right here, and it's heading towards PGV that way. If the lines show it should actually turn and go more in this direction, like here, at least the first lobe of it. Then it's a matter of how much the stream can feed down here and fill this terrain kind of next to the power plant. Okay, so that's the first thing, and then back to the map. The new fissure on Nohea is opened up over here, kind of at the edge of 8, right? And it's putting out a pad that's flowing in both directions, a little bit more to the north, but kind of this is the area affected right here. So the new map should come out pretty soon, I imagine in the next several hours, and it'll show that, and it'll show this change up here as well. Now there's another notable area of a lot of flow coming out, and that's the southeast edge of this big pond right here. So we've had a lot of, the fissures have been increasing in size and building little spatter cones and perch ponds all in this area all through here. And a lot of the flow is going to the north. There's also a bit that's been spreading to the south all the way all through here. There have been houses that have been burned down in this area, we know for sure, in the last day, and as well some along this southern margin right here. Although last I heard that this edge was starting to slow down and stall a little bit, so hopefully that's as far as it'll get. I have a little concern too about the area right in here next to the crater, where if the flow can get over a hump, it can actually start hitting a pretty good downhill and flow down the Pali in this direction, and then we hope it'll come join this one, but there's a big question mark what happens in here as far as if the flow can actually get going in that direction. So that's the map update today. One thing people have been asking around the hub is if the flow keeps going from these fissures to the north, where would it actually go? And we can look at these blue lines of steepest descent, saying it would cross 132. That would probably happen before lava gets onto any kind of PGV facility, as far as the actual infrastructure, I believe. but don't quote me on that. So it'll come up around this area to the east of Nana Valley, and then head to the north. And it's a long way to the coast there, so we'll have a chance to watch how this develops. But for now, there is not as many people in harm's way in this direction. There are some farms over here, but Nana Valley in particular looks like it's going to avoid the first direct path of this flow going to the north.
So you see all these blue lines. This is the lines of steepest descent. So this is what's happening now. And also, if the fissure starts going more uphill, it'll start moving towards these steeper descent lines and start heading back down that way.
Yeah, that's right. Good point. So this new flow right here, let's say that this becomes as active as this one is going. It's going to have the same pattern. It's going to go fatten in both directions, but eventually flow out this way right here. So unfortunately, anyone living in this area is still very much at risk, especially from this new fissure.
All right. So we also, anybody have any questions? Let me know. I can ask Dr. Phil.
Not a doctor, but all right.
And this is Arthur. How's it going, Arthur? He's another really fine man that knows a lot about volcanoes. But he'll be talking about some stuff later on. Here's new.
Yeah. So here's another picture of the eruption site. This is the PGV flow that we're just discussing back over there. So we're looking farther away. So back over here, this is a new fissure on Ohea Street that's putting out lava sometime this morning. So it's still a small pad compared to the other ones. You can see it's starting to want to move in this direction along the edge of this flow, which just came out in the last couple of days as well.
So yeah, that one is actually looking like it's between Ohea and Luana, actually.
Right. So the progression we see is still holding true. Like 22 opened up, and that was the most voluminous, pumping out the most material, the most volume of lava, and then moving to here, and then here, and now we're continuing our progression to the west. So we're still have a lot of concern for anyone in the area all along through here and even uprift, because these cracks which put out lava a couple weeks ago could very easily be reactivated just like these ones and put out new flows in a similar pattern as well. So I hate to say it, but we're still a long way from out of the woods for Leilani. Especially everyone who lives in this area right in here and kind of in a bowl in the middle of Leilani.
Alright, we have a question.
Alright.
Can the current magma be dated? Is it fresh from Kīlauea or Pu'u'o still?
Yeah, so it is fresh, and it's from Pu'u'o. One of the ways that we tell how the magma is by what kinds of gases are coming out of them and which proportions, right? So it turns out that CO2 and SO2 are important gases, and CO2 comes out faster. So up at Halemaumau, you usually see more CO2 than you do at Pu'u'o. So the longer it's been, the lava's been sitting underground, the less of that it'll have. And that's like a simple way to tell how long it's been sitting underground. But as far as the chemistry, it hasn't had that much time to really change. You know, what's more important is the gases, how much gases are mixed into it. So we're not going to see much change as far as I can see for the chemistry of the lavas. But we are looking for that, because it's going to be important to know when Halemaumau lava arrives in this area. Then we'll know that perhaps the beginning of the end is coming, at least the end of this phase of this chapter of the eruption, right? And we still have the big question of what happens next after that. Can it keep supplying here without going to Halemaumau? Or is it going to go back to Halemaumau? We still don't know that. We'll have to wait and see. So that's the most important thing about the chemistries, is finding out when Halemaumau lava actually arrives here to give us an idea of how long it took and how much longer we could make a guess of how long it could continue going on.
All right, and then so how close to the geothermal wells is the active flow? So it's pretty close. From this morning when I was on scene, it was like looking like about I'm not too sure where the wells were at, but it looked like it was about 125 yards away.
I think I saw the headline today, 200 yards from the active well, right? The one that's given the
earlier
trouble.
today. What time was that one?
I think the headline was around noon or so. I think it might have been Tribune Herald's headline. So that seems like it's the other wells that are not active are closer to the flow. With the actual active well is the one of the most concern, right? And that's the one about 200 yards away. And that was at the time of release.
Will Leilani become like Pu'u'o, another active ongoing crater?
We don't know. We don't know. It seems like the pattern of eruptions in this area is generally of a few weeks to a few months. Now, it could be that even if it stops for a little while, it's going to pick back up the next month or the next year or whatever else. So long term, this area is very much an eruptive site like Kīlauea. Now, whether it stays continuous the entire time, that's a different question entirely, right? So we don't know how long it's going to stay active, but we do know that the pipeline exists already for magma to come from the summit here. And we are still worried that it could become a long-term thing, even if it does stop for a little while.
Yeah, so this is what Dr. Phil says today. And we'll be talking to him later on and kind of doing a daily wrap of what's happening. But also check out his
Eruption Lens app. Yeah, thanks everybody for buying the app. It means a lot to me. And yeah, any problems that come up, please let me know. I'll keep working on those as well.
So he has an app on
iOS,
iTunes, and all that kind of stuff. And the app is costs $5. $1 will be donated to Puhonua Opuna. This app is pretty awesome. You can see all the eruptions. And
so I'll give you guys a slight preview. This is as if you were at the Jagger Museum, right? So I'm gonna turn it to where the active crater of Kīlauea is, which is all the way over there. Oh, sorry, you picked that. But so you can kind of see a history of the old smaller explosions from the lava lake. You can push the next button and go through a history, different views of the lava lake over the course of time.
We got some major reflections.
Reflection? Oh yeah. Any better?
Yeah.
All right, or big explosions that have happened there. Different kinds of lava lakes. Different views of them. Going this way. All right, collapses after eruptions. So the app basically gives you an idea of what's happened in the past to give you some idea of what could happen in the future. So at the moment it doesn't have anything of the current eruption in there, but I'll add that as soon as I can.
What's the name of the app again?
Eruption Lens. Here, let's zoom in on right here. Eruption Lens.
Eruption Lens.
Yeah, thanks so much, everybody.
Well, that's that. Well, everybody, we'll be reporting, updating later on today, but like we would like to say, keep it classy.
Una.
Or stay classy.
Stay classy, Una.
All right. Aloha.